What's up, everybody? It's Anna here, doing a rant that I wasn't really expecting to do. I think we've all complained about Facebook at some point in our lives, but I never thought I would actually take the time to get down and actually do a proper rant about Facebook. I mean, we already know that Facebook sucks. The majority of people know that Facebook sucks, and it's the definition of a website that, much like how I'm on YouTube right now, it's just a website that we all use because that's where everybody else is. If we all had a proper alternative, then that's where we'd go. Facebook is the place where the majority of people are, so regardless of if we have any choice in wanting to use Facebook or not, most of us have a Facebook account and we use it to keep in touch with relatives. Because most of our relatives, especially the older people that we might want to keep in contact with, they aren't on the other platforms that we're using, and nor should we really want them on there. It would just be kind of awkward to have a bunch more boomers on Twitter or even Discord and other places where people tend to go, but I'm getting off topic at this point. The main issue I want to talk about regarding Facebook today is their terrible policy when it comes to fact-checking. Now, I understand that in the age of the internet, and especially following the 2016 election, there's a huge dialogue going on about, you know, what news sources can you trust. I feel like a lot of people are finally wisening up to the fact that you shouldn't just trust every single article that you see on the internet just because someone is able to purchase a domain. Doesn't mean that they're doing proper fucking journalism, and I feel like a lot more people need to come to the realization that just in general, every source is biased. You shouldn't take whatever anyone says 100% verbatim. You should actually try to employ thinking for yourself and doing your own research and shit like that. But I understand the issue of, yes, there is a lot of fake news that is perpetuated on sites like Facebook, especially sites on Facebook, which is then shown to impressionable people, whether it be the younger people who have Facebook accounts or the older people that have Facebook accounts. Both of those age demographics, they're very susceptible to just pops up on their feed, they see something and they just instantly believe it and take it for 100% truth. Shit that can be like rebuked time and time again, but if they just see it one time, they don't even have to read the full fucking article, right? Sometimes people will just see a headline and 100% believe it. So I understand Facebook's desire to fight against that, but I feel like they just go about it in completely the wrong ways. They make it into a complete and utter fucking joke. This is an issue that seems to come up a lot when it comes to the entire dialogue of fake news in general, is when people are trying to combat it, they often go way too fucking far to the extent where it makes it an entire fucking joke and no one's able to actually have a serious conversation about it, because there are people who are just trying to censor shit that doesn't need to be censored at all. People trying to go to these far extremes, and it allows extremists on the other side of the issue to just, you know, completely straw man anyone who's in the middle, anyone who's trying to have an honest dialogue about this. And this is exactly what we can see on the Deep Fat Fried Facebook group, because if you guys don't know, I run the Deep Fat Fried Facebook group. There used to be a bigger one, and I guess they got taken down, likely because of bullshit on Facebook's end. I've heard from multiple people who used to be in the old group that, yeah, basically the reason why the old Deep Fat Fried group got taken down is just users went through to some older posts that were in the group and flagged them, and now that Facebook has updated their TOS, they're a lot stricter when it basically got the entire group taken down. So I've actually had this group since around when DFF was originally made. It's just not many people used it until the other group went down. So now there's about 1,000 people in that group. It's fairly active. We approve a decent amount of posts every day. Pretty much every single day in that Facebook group, one of the posts gets taken down, and I try to do a good job of moderating the posts, moderating people's comments, and making sure that, you know, nothing that's genuinely going too far gets put on the Facebook group. Facebook will flag a post and remove it just for if you call someone a bitch. If you just disagree with someone in a slightly aggressive tone, Facebook will flag it down. Where I think that Twitter is way too lenient when it comes to allowing, especially doc dropping, impersonation accounts and shit like that. Facebook will just ban you and give you a fucking suspension for almost nothing. Like, even if you just give someone, like, the most basic of insults. Like, I've gotten in trouble just for calling someone a bitch before. There's been other people who've gotten in trouble just for not even using a swear word, just insulting someone in general. You know, doing it to the extent where it's harassment, but just calling someone a bitch and disagreeing with them, while it's something that I wish that we kind of, you know, could get around. You know, I think it's something that we should get around as a culture, be a little bit more understanding of people who think differently from us, but whatever. People have the right to call someone a bitch if they disagree with them, and I don't think that should be censored. And if the people are going to be censored for that, it's just going to enforce and validate their beliefs and their victim complex, which pretty much everybody seems to have these days, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum. And I'm sure there's a a lot of people who don't think that way, but there's a vocal minority of people all across the political spectrum who just want to be seen as the victim. And usually those people are the ones who shout the loudest and make us all look bad. But I'll continue. So there was a post that actually got flagged down, which for me was the breaking point. Someone in the DFF Facebook group by the name of Nate Witt, who's not a troll, pretty average fucking poster in the group, never did anything to slight me or anyone in the group. I've never heard any complaints about him. But, you know, he got flagged down for a meme he posted right here. It's clearly a joke, Ted Cruz, where it's just white text over a picture of Ted Cruz that says, "I'll believe in climate change when Texas freezes over." That's clearly a joke. I mean, I'll put it on screen for the people who want to see for themselves. And that got fact-checked. It got fact-checked for false information when it was clearly a meme. Nothing in this image was indicating that this is something that Ted Cruz actually said. It wasn't in quotation marks or anything. Nowhere is it implied in this image that this is actually something that Ted Cruz said. And if you're going to enforce this type of standard, then there's so many things on Facebook that should be flagged down by this standard. I'm not saying that they should be, but I'm just pointing it out to say there's so many memes that are like this. Like, what if this was someone different? What if this was just like someone who's completely non-political? What if it was like a fictional character? Would it get fact-checked then? No, but that's just me setting the example of like, where is the line going to be drawn here? Like, what's the line going to be? Here's the thing. This isn't just something that is just like, oh, okay, we're just gonna put something on here to mark it as, okay, this is false information, which is ridiculous enough, right? It's ridiculous enough, but here's how Facebook works. If you have false information in your group, even one post about it, Facebook is gonna be less likely to not only recommend your group to other people, but they're also less likely to actually show the posts from your group to the people who are in that group. So even if you're part of the group, Facebook's just gonna be like, nah, you know, there's enough of what we deem to be false information in this that you join to see for yourself, which is fucking bullshit. If I'm in a Facebook group, it's because I want to see what's in there. I don't give a shit what Facebook says if it's false information in there. This is literally just a meme. As far as I can see, this is the most egregious example so far of Facebook fact-checking something that's just completely fucking unnecessary. And here's the source of the fact check, apparently. Fake tweet attributes climate change comment to Senator Ted Cruz. Where is there a tweet contained in this image? I don't see a tweet anywhere here. I don't see, this is not a screenshot of a tweet. I know that people make fake tweets all the time and perpetuate that, and there's a lot of people who actually believe them. So I could maybe get the concern if this was actually a tweet, but no, it's just white text over a picture of Ted Cruz. Nothing indicating this is something that he would say. Just the fact that this is something that Facebook would use to try and bury a fucking group to get it taken down is absolute fucking bullshit. Anytime you get something that's fact-checked, if you don't delete it instantly, then they're gonna fuck you over. And you know what the worst part about this is that I made a post in the DFF Facebook group just explaining everything that happened, how the group might be in danger, and how we all need to be aware that Facebook could basically fuck us over at any second. I was just explaining how I disagreed with everything, and guess what? Just because it contained an image of that Ted Cruz meme, they fact-checked that too, which is basically saying, if I don't take down this announcement and I don't shut the fuck up, then they're gonna bury the Facebook group and just continue to do their fucking bullshit. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna remove that post, and I'm not gonna stay quiet about this. That's why I'm making this video, because Facebook has gone way overboard with their idea of fact-checking. They are fact-checking shit that doesn't even require any fact-checking at all. They're wasting their time, all while meanwhile people get away with crazy fucking shit on Facebook. That's how it works when these companies are just huge monopolies that have the entire base of people around there because no one wants to go anywhere else, because no other fucking company can afford to make a viable alternative. And that's just how it works out, even here with YouTube and Twitch and all these other websites which have pretty much their own niches which can't be filled by any other website. They just get to make their own shots, they get to make their own decisions. And Facebook, what about you? Where's your fucking accountability? And where's the accountability for these independent fact checkers that we don't get to hear about? Actually, no, you did show me one of the independent fact checkers. It was not an independent fucking source. It was another fucking website which inherently has its own biases. I'm tired of social media going after all the wrong people when there's doc droppers and people who do so much fucked up shit who just linger in the shadows. And meanwhile, perfectly good Facebook posts like this from people who are just trying to make people laugh are what gets targeted. It's what gets groups taken down. Well, fuck you. I hope anybody who might have had an experience like this on Facebook, like, let me know if you've posted a meme or even just said something slightly out of the ordinary politically and gotten fact-checked for that shit, because all the time Facebook takes people down, suspends them, fact-checks them, does it all the time where it's unnecessary. And then there's also people who harass people on a daily basis on Facebook who still get to keep their accounts. Clearly, social media, Facebook, Twitter, even YouTube, all their priorities are out of whack. That's why even YouTube that I'm on right now, the only time that they decide to actually do anything about Onision on, who we've all known as a shitbag for years and years now, is when a mainstream media company does a documentary on it. All the fucking research done by small independent creators on YouTube is basically being mooched off of by a massive conglomerate corporation, and that's the time when YouTube finally thinks it's appropriate to act. I don't know. I'm pretty pissed off about this whole situation. I hope you guys can share your thoughts down below, give your take on this. It's been a while since I recorded a rant. I felt like this was a good one to come back with, and you guys take it fucking easy and stay toasty.